All right, let's dive into some seriously epic waterfall hikes. We're talking about those hidden gems, those places that offer, stunning views and a real sense of adventure, all without the crowds.
That's right. Those kind of places where you can experience the power and the majesty of waterfalls up close and personal. We've um we've looked into, expert recommendations and traveler reviews and kind of put together a list of some real jaw droppers.
So let's kick things off with a waterfall that's pretty much impossible to ignore. Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe and Zambia. We are talking about the largest sheet of falling water in the world, right?
Absolutely, a true natural wonder. But you are right, it can get pretty crowded. But here's a pro tip. The Matabele North Circular Trail. It's a relatively easy 2.4-mile loop. It takes about an hour, and it gives you those insane views of the falls from all these different angles.
Okay, that's good to know. What about, I've also heard the mist from the falls can make things a little slippery.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Sturdy footwear is a must. Be prepared to get a little damp.
All right, so we've tackled the world's largest sheet of falling water. What's next?
Well, speaking of feeling the spray on your face, let's hop over to Switzerland, home to Stellbach Falls in Lauterbrunnen.
Switzerland. Okay, I'm already picturing the charming villages and snow-capped peaks, but tell me about this waterfall. What makes it so special?
Well, for starters, it's almost 1,000 feet tall. It cascades down this sheer cliff face right next to the village. But the really unique thing about Stellbach Falls is that you can actually walk behind the cascading water.
Wait, behind the waterfall? Are you serious?
It's surprisingly safe. There's this well-maintained viewing platform tucked behind the falls. It gives you this incredible experience. You can feel the mist on your face and hear the thunderous roar of the water right there, up close.
Okay, that sounds both terrifying and amazing. I'm intrigued. What's the hike like to get there?
It's nothing. Just a leisurely 20-minute walk from the train station in Lauterbrunnen.
So easy access. Major wow factor. What more could you ask for? But while we're in Switzerland, are there any other waterfalls that we should check out?
Well, you did say you wanted to avoid the crowds, so let's skip over Rhine Falls for now and head straight to a real hidden gem, Giesbach Falls.
Giesbach Falls. I haven't heard of that one. Tell me more.
Well, it's tucked away on the shores of Lake Brenz, and it's actually a series of 14 cascading waterfalls that tumble down a forested hillside right into the lake. And get this, you can take a historic funicular railway up to the top of the falls.
A funicular railway. Now that's a unique way to experience a waterfall. That's definitely going on my list. What about hikes? Are there trails to explore around Giesbach Falls?
Oh, absolutely. There are several well-marked trails that wind their way through the forest. They offer, stunning views of the falls and the lake. You can even hike behind some of the cascades, just like at Staubach Falls.
Okay, you had me at hike behind the Cascades. I'm sold.
What's fascinating about Giesbach Falls is that it's not just a natural wonder. It's like steeped in history.
Yeah.
There's this grand hotel perched at the top of the falls that dates back to the 19th century and has been visited by everyone from royalty to famous artists and writers.
Wow, so it's a waterfall hike with a side of history and luxury. I'm definitely adding this to my must-do list. But I'm ready for a change of scenery, maybe something a little more exotic.
I got you. Something off the beaten path. In that case, let's journey to a hidden gem in India. Have you heard of Jog Falls?
Dog Falls. No, I can't say that one rings a bell. What's the story there?
It's the second highest waterfall in India. It plunges a massive 830 feet. But here's the kicker. It's often overshadowed by the more famous Nokkalikai Falls. So you're going to have a much more intimate experience with this natural wonder.
You mentioned I wanted to avoid crowds, and that definitely sounds promising, but I'm not going to lie. A waterfall that tall, I'm assuming it's a pretty intense hike to reach it.
Yeah, it's moderately challenging. 1.3-mile out-and-back trail that takes you right to the base of the falls. Be warned, there are nearly 1,400 steps to conquer.
1,400 steps! Oof, that sounds like a workout. But hey, I'm always up for a challenge, especially if the reward is a breathtaking view.
Trust me, the view from the bottom is worth every step. You'll feel the spray of the falls on your face, and the sheer power of the water is awe-inspiring.
Okay, you've convinced me. Jog Falls is officially on the list. But let's shift gears again. I'm feeling the need for something a little more tropical.
I was just about to suggest that. Let's escape to the lush rainforests of Langkawi, Malaysia, home to the enchanting Telaga Tujuh Waterfall, also known as the Seven Wells Waterfall.
Seven Wells Waterfall. Okay, that name alone has me picturing something magical. What can we expect?
Imagine cascading waterfalls feeding into 7 natural pools nestled within this vibrant green forest. It's like something out of a fairy tale. And what's really cool is that the rock formations here are incredibly unique. They've been sculpted over millions of years by the flowing water, creating these smooth, almost otherworldly shapes.
Wow, so it's not just about the waterfalls, it's about the whole geological history of the place. I'm really starting to appreciate how each of these waterfall hikes offers something a little different.
Exactly. And Talaga Tuju is a great example of that. You're not just there for the views, you're there for the whole sensory experience. You can hear the water cascading down the rocks, smell the damp earth and the lush vegetation, and even feel the cool spray on your skin.
All right, I'm sold. Tell me more about the hike itself. What's the best way to experience these falls?
The upper pools are a must-visit. You can take a dip in the cool, refreshing water while enjoying panoramic views of the surrounding jungle. The hike itself is a moderate 1.1-mile trail. It's a bit of a climb, but it's definitely doable for most fitness levels.
Perfect. I love a good challenge, but I also appreciate knowing that I won't be completely wiped out by the end of the hike. All right, so we've had the world's largest, a waterfall we can walk behind, a historic funicular railway, and a dip in a tropical paradise. What other watery wonders await us?
Let's journey to the Brecon Beacons National Park in Wales, UK, where you'll find Steingir Duo Yiroi Ar Era, which translates to Waterfall of Snow.
Waterfall of Snow, that sounds absolutely magical. What makes this waterfall so special?
Well, just like Stayback Falls, you can walk behind this 50-foot cascade. It's like entering a secret world hidden by a curtain of water. But what's really interesting about the Stayback Era is its ecological significance. The area around the falls is home to a variety of rare plant and animal species, including otters, dippers, and several types of ferns that thrive in the humid environment.
Oh, wow. So it's not just a visually stunning waterfall. It's a haven for biodiversity. That makes it even more appealing. But is this a solo waterfall hike, or is there more to explore in the area?
Oh, there's definitely more. Ski Di Wu I Era is part of the famous Four Falls Trail, a 4.5-mile route that takes you past 3 other breathtaking waterfalls. Ski Gud Klungwin, Skreed Isaf Klungwin, and Skrigwin Y Panwer. You'll be surrounded by lush forests, dramatic gorges, and the soothing sounds of cascading water. It's like stepping into a scene from a fantasy novel.
So 4 waterfalls for the price of 1 hike. I love it. Anything else we should know before we head off on this Welsh adventure?
Just a heads up, there's a £5 parking fee for the trail, but honestly, it's a small price to pay for experiencing such a magical place.
I completely agree. Supporting the preservation of these natural wonders is definitely worth a few pounds. Okay, ready for our next waterfall escape? Take us somewhere truly unique.
How about a dip in the turquoise waters of Havasu Falls in Arizona?
Havasu Falls. The photos I've seen in this place are absolutely unreal. Is it really as breathtaking in person?
Oh, it's even more stunning than the photos suggest. The vibrant blue-green water contrasting with the red rock canyons is a sight that will stay with you forever. But here's the thing. Havasu Falls is actually located within the Havasupai Indian Reservation, and it's managed by the Havasupai tribe. They've done an incredible job of preserving the natural beauty of the area while also sharing it with visitors.
That's amazing. I love that we can experience this incredible place while also supporting the Havasupai tribe. But I've also heard it's a pretty challenging hike to reach Havasu Falls. What should we know before tackling this one?
You're right. It's not for the faint of heart. It's a 10-mile hike each way, with some steep climbs and descents. And because it's located on the reservation, you'll need a permit and a reservation to access the area. They only allow a limited number of visitors each day to minimize the impact on the environment.
10 miles each way. Wow, that's a serious commitment. But I'm guessing the payoff is worth all the effort.
Trust me, the moment you lay eyes on those turquoise waters cascading down the red rock cliffs, you'll forget all about the long hike in. It's a truly magical place.
All right, challenge accepted. But let's be real for a second. That 20-mile round trip sounds intense, even for experienced hikers. Are there any shorter hikes in the area that still offer those incredible views?
Absolutely. If you're looking for a shorter hike, Mooney Falls is just a short distance downstream from Havasu Falls, and it's equally stunning. The hike down to Mooney Falls is a bit more adventurous, involving chains and ladders built into the cliff face, but it's definitely worth the effort.
Okay, chains and ladders, that definitely sounds like my kind of adventure. I'm adding both of these to the list. What other hidden gems are out there just waiting to be explored?
Let's venture deep into the Amazon rainforest of Peru, where you'll find Gocta Falls, one of the tallest waterfalls in the world.
Okay, now we're talking. Tallest in the world? How tall are we talking exactly?
Hold on tight, because Gocta Falls plunges a mind-blowing 2,530 feet from the top of a towering cliff. It wasn't even discovered by the outside world until 2005.
2,530 feet and discovered in 2005. I can't even imagine stumbling upon a waterfall that massive. It almost sounds like something out of a Lost World novel. What's the hike like to reach this giant of the Amazon?
It's a challenging but rewarding 6.4-mile out-and-back trail from the village of Cocachimba. You'll spend around 5 hours hiking through lush rainforests, crossing streams, and taking in those incredible views of the falls, the surrounding cliffs, and the Cocoaico River below. You'll feel like a true explorer, hacking your way through the jungle to this hidden wonder.
5 hours of hiking through the Amazon rainforest. Sign me up.
But is there any infrastructure along the trail, like places to rest or refill water bottles?
It's a pretty remote hike, so it's essential to pack plenty of water and snacks as there are no facilities along the trail. Sturdy hiking boots are a must, especially during the rainy season when the trail can get muddy and slippery. Got it. Sturdy boots, snacks, and a sense of adventure. I'm ready to conquer Gokta Falls. What other breathtaking waterfalls are hiding out there waiting to be discovered?
Let's head back to the USA for a hike to another iconic waterfall, Yosemite Falls in California.
Yosemite, a classic for a reason. I've always dreamed of seeing this place. What can you tell me about the hike to Yosemite Falls?
Get ready for a workout. The trail to Upper Yosemite Falls is a strenuous 7.6-mile round trip that gains over 2,700 feet in elevation. But here's a little secret. Most people only hike to Columbia Rock, which is about halfway up. If you push yourself to the top of Upper Yosemite Falls, you'll have the trail and the views practically to yourself.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. A little solitude amidst all that grandeur. But even halfway up, this hike isn't for beginners, right? What makes this hike so special for those who are up for the challenge?
You'll get breathtaking close-ups of the cascading water as it plunges over 2,400 feet. Plus, you'll have panoramic views of Yosemite Valley, including Half Dome and El Capitan in the distance. And because it's such a popular park, they've done a fantastic job of building well-maintained trails and providing facilities along the way.
Wow, that's reassuring to know, especially for a hike of that intensity. Any tips for those who want to take on this challenge?
Water, water, and more water. Seriously, staying hydrated is key, especially at higher elevations. Layers of clothing are also important, as the temperature can change dramatically throughout the hike. And don't forget a good hat and sunscreen. The sun can be intense even when it's cool out.
Noted. Okay, I'm officially adding the full hike to Upper Yosemite Falls to my must-do list. Where to next on our waterfall adventure?
Let's hop over to Iceland for a visit to 2 stunning waterfalls that are conveniently located on the same trail, Seljalandsfoss and Glögufjörðinn.
Iceland. Another place that's been at the top of my travel bucket list. What makes these waterfalls so special?
First up, Seljalandsfoss, a graceful 197-foot waterfall that you can actually walk behind. It's a truly magical experience to feel the mist on your face as you stand behind the cascading water. But here's a pro tip. Instead of just taking the main path to the falls, explore the area around the base. You'll find these hidden trails that wind their way through the lush vegetation, offering different perspectives of the waterfall.
Ooh, I love discovering hidden trails. It's like finding your own secret spot. What about the second waterfall, Glögufjörðinn?
This one is truly hidden. You'll have to wade through a shallow stream to reach it, but the sight of the water plunging into this moss-covered cave is well worth the effort.
Wait, a waterfall hidden inside a cave? Now that's something you don't see every day. What's the hike like to reach these 2 wonders?
It's a relatively easy 1.3-mile out-and-back trail. It's suitable for most fitness levels. Just be aware that the path behind Seljalandsfoss can be closed in winter due to icy conditions.
Good to know. I'm sensing a theme here. We've had several waterfalls so far that we can walk behind. You seem to have a knack for finding these hidden pathways.
I do love a good waterfall walkthrough. But let's continue our journey. How about a trip to New Zealand?
New Zealand. Land of hobbits and breathtaking landscapes. I'm in. What waterfall awaits us there?
Get ready to experience the power of Sutherland Falls, the tallest waterfall in New Zealand.
All right, bring on the tallest. How tall are we talking about here?
Sutherland Falls plunges an impressive 1,904 feet. But what's really remarkable about this waterfall is how it's formed. It's actually a 3-tiered cascade that drops from Lake Quill, which is perched high on a mountaintop. You can hike up to the lake and see the water cascading over the edge, forming the top of the falls.
Wow, a waterfall that starts at a mountain lake. That's incredible. What's the best way to experience this towering wonder?
The Sutherland Falls hiking trail is a moderate 6.2-mile hike that takes you through lush forests, over rope bridges, and up to the base of the falls. But what makes this hike truly special is the diversity of the landscape. You'll pass through beech forests, cross alpine meadows, and even see glimpses of the Fjordland National Park's rugged coastline in the distance.
Sounds like a hike with some serious variety. And a rope bridge, I'm always up for a little bit of adrenaline. Anything we should be aware of before setting off on this trek?
The trail can be muddy and steep in sections, so sturdy hiking boots are a must. And because the weather in Fjordland National Park can change quickly, it's best to pack for all conditions. You might start your hike in sunshine and end up in a downpour, so being prepared is key.
Good advice. I'm always up for a challenge, but being prepared is essential. Okay, I'm ready for our final waterfall adventure. Where are we heading to wrap up this epic journey?
Let's finish our waterfall tour in Croatia, at Plitvice Lakes National Park, home to the stunning Veliki Slap, also known as the Great Waterfall.
Croatia. I've heard amazing things about the natural beauty of this country. Tell me more about Veliki Slap. What makes it so special?
Imagine cascading turquoise water plunging 256 feet against a backdrop of lush green forests and vibrant blue lakes. It's truly a postcard-perfect scene. But what sets Plitvice Lakes apart from other waterfall destinations is the unique geology of the area. The entire park is a series of interconnected lakes and waterfalls formed by travertine barriers, which are natural dams made of limestone.
Travertine barriers? I've never heard of that.
It's a fascinating geological process. Essentially, the water flowing through the park is rich in dissolved calcium carbonate. And as the water cascades over the rocks, it deposits these thin layers of this mineral, slowly building up these natural dams over thousands of years. This process has created this incredible landscape of cascading waterfalls, turquoise lakes, and lush forests. It's like nowhere else on Earth.
Okay, you had me at turquoise water, but the science behind it makes it even more incredible. What's the hike like to reach this Croatian beauty?
You're in luck. The trail to Veliki Slap is part of Trail A, a relatively easy 2.2-mile loop that starts at entrance 1 of the park. Along the way, you'll pass several other beautiful waterfalls, including Sastavci, Lenovački, and Labudovaci. You'll be walking on these wooden boardwalks that wind their way through the forests and along the edges of the lakes.
Wow, a waterfall hike through a national park on wooden boardwalks. That sounds like the perfect way to immerse yourself in the scenery. Anything else we should know before we go?
Plitvice Lakes is incredibly popular, so try to arrive early in the morning or late in the afternoon to avoid the crowds. And make sure to bring your camera because every turn on this trail offers a picture-perfect moment.
Great tips. I'm all about avoiding the crowds and capturing those stunning views. All right, so there you have it, folks. Our whirlwind tour of some of the most epic waterfall hikes on the planet.
From the thundering power of Victoria Falls to the hidden beauty of Guljufra, there's a waterfall adventure out there for everyone, and we've barely scratched the surface.
I know. I'm already feeling inspired to start planning my next adventure.
You know, it's funny. Waterfalls, they really seem to captivate everyone no matter where they're from. I think there's just something about that kind of raw power and beauty, really draws us in.
I know exactly what you mean. It's like you're witnessing this untamed energy of nature, and it makes you feel so small, but in like the best way possible.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's almost like a spiritual experience, right?
I think you're right. I mean, throughout history, waterfalls have been revered and celebrated by cultures all over the world, right?
Yeah.
They often represent like life and renewal and this interconnectedness of everything. But speaking of connecting, it's not just about the visual impact, right? What about the other senses? What kind of sounds and smells can we expect to encounter on these waterfall hikes?
That's a great question. I think the sensory experience of a waterfall hike is truly immersive. It's like stepping into a completely different world.
I bet. Just thinking about it, I can almost imagine the sound of the rushing water echoing through a canyon, the feel of the cool mist on my skin, the smell of damp earth and pine needles.
Exactly. Each waterfall has its own unique symphony of sounds. Some roar like thunder, while others whisper and trickle gently. The smells can be just as diverse. You might catch a whiff of wildflowers, the earthy scent of damp moss, or even a hint of ozone from the cascading water.
Wow, you're making these hikes sound like a full-on sensory feast. It's not just about what we see, but what we feel, hear, and smell that makes these experiences truly unforgettable.
And let's not forget the physical challenge, right? Some of these hikes we've talked about are no walk in the park.
You're telling me some of these trails we've discussed, chains, ladders, hundreds of stairs.
Right. They require endurance, stamina, and a good dose of determination.
Exactly. But that's part of the allure, right? The sense of accomplishment after conquering a challenging trail and knowing that you pushed yourself to your limits and came out stronger on the other side?
For sure.
Totally. There's something incredibly satisfying about reaching that waterfall after a tough climb, knowing you earned that view. And it's a good reminder that it's not just about the destination, it's about the entire journey, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. It's easy to get caught up in, those Instagram-worthy shots, but these waterfall hikes offer so much more than just a photo op, right? They're about challenging yourself, connecting with nature, creating those lasting memories.
Couldn't agree more. But, as we've been talking about all these incredible destinations, I've been thinking about the impact of tourism on these natural wonders.
That's a really important consideration. With the rise of social media and adventure travel, it's so crucial that we approach these experiences responsibly, sustainably.
Absolutely. We need to be mindful of our footprint and ensure we're not harming the environment or disrupting the fragile ecosystems that these waterfalls are part of.
For sure.
Things like staying on designated trails, packing out all of our trash, and respecting wildlife. Those are essential.
Yeah.
We got to preserve these natural treasures for future generations, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's important to support tour operators and accommodations that prioritize, sustainability and eco-friendly practices.
Absolutely. Choosing to spend our money with businesses that align with our values can make a real difference.
This conversation has really kind of brought to light the importance of balancing our desire for adventure with the need to protect and preserve our planet.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that we're all connected to this earth and it's our responsibility to take care of it.
For sure.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired to be a more conscious traveler, but enough with the serious talk. Let's get back to exploring. We've covered some incredible waterfalls so far, but I have a feeling you got more hidden gems up your sleeve. Where should we head next?
Let's go chase some more waterfalls.
Okay, my hiking boots are laced up and my backpack is ready. I'm itching for another waterfall adventure. Where to next?
We've talked about waterfalls you can walk behind. Waterfalls that plunge from mountain lakes, waterfalls hidden in caves. How about a waterfall that seems to defy gravity?
Defy gravity. Okay, now you've got my attention. Tell me more.
Let's head over to the Isle of Skye in Scotland, where you'll find the enchanting fairy pools. It's not just one waterfall, but a series of cascading pools and waterfalls that seem to flow uphill.
Wait, uphill? How is that even possible?
It's like an optical illusion, It's created by those unique rock formations and the way the water flows over them. It's really mesmerizing.
Okay, that sounds absolutely magical. Fairy pools. I mean, the name alone just evokes a sense of wonder. What's the landscape like in this area?
Picture crystal clear water cascading over moss-covered rocks with majestic Kulin Mountains as a backdrop. It's like stepping into a fairy tale. And the best part is the hike to the fairy pools is relatively easy, making it accessible for all fitness levels.
Easy access and otherworldly beauty. That's a win-win in my book. I can already picture myself soaking in one of those crystal clear pools surrounded by mountains and waterfalls. But, you know me, I always love a good challenge. Is there anything in the area that would really put my hiking skills to the test?
If you're looking for a challenge, you could tackle the Currying. It's this dramatic landslip on the northernmost summit of the Trotternish Ridge, with towering cliffs, hidden plateaus, and breathtaking views of the surrounding landscape. It's not a waterfall hike in the, traditional sense, but you'll likely encounter cascading streams and waterfalls along the way.
A hike with a view and a chance to test my limits. I'm there. But let's not forget about the fairy pools. Are there any legends or folklore associated with this magical place?
Of course.
Yeah.
Legend has it that the pools are enchanted by fairies, and if you swim in their waters, you'll be granted eternal youth and beauty.
Eternal youth and beauty, huh? Well, guess I'm packing my swimsuit.
Okay, so we've explored waterfalls we can walk behind, waterfalls that start at mountain lakes, and now waterfalls that seem to defy gravity. What other waterfall wonders are out there?
Let's venture to Iguazu Falls, one of the most spectacular waterfalls in the world.
Iguazu Falls, I've heard so much about this place. It's on the border of Argentina and Brazil, right? That's right. Iguazu Falls is actually a system of 275 waterfalls that stretch for nearly 2 miles along the Iguazu River. It's wider than Victoria Falls and taller than Niagara Falls, making it a truly awe-inspiring sight.
Wow, that's massive. Okay, I have to ask, is there like a best side to see Iguazu Falls from Argentina or Brazil?
Both sides offer unique perspectives, so it's best to experience both if you can. From the Brazilian side, you get these panoramic views of the entire falls system, and you can even take a boat ride that'll take you right to the base of the falls. From the Argentinian side, you can walk along a series of catwalks that weave their way through the rainforest, giving you these up-close views of the individual falls, including the famous Devil's Throat.
Boat rides and catwalks through the rainforest. Okay, I'm definitely adding Guazi Falls to my bucket list, but I'm curious. Aside from the sheer size and scale of the falls, what makes this place so special?
The biodiversity. The surrounding rainforest is incredible. The Iguazu National Park is home to over 2,000 species of plants, 400 species of birds, and countless other animals, including jaguars, tapirs, and monkeys.
So it's like a waterfall adventure combined with a wildlife safari. All right, I'm feeling inspired to pack my bags and book a flight, but before we wrap up, is there one final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
Well, we've explored some truly incredible waterfall hikes today, from the iconic giants to those hidden gems. But remember, the most important thing is to get out there and experience that beauty, that power of nature for yourself.
I couldn't agree more. Whether you're an experienced hiker or just starting out, there's a waterfall adventure out there waiting for you. So lace up your boots, pack your sense of wonder, and go chase those waterfalls.
And don't forget to share your adventures with us. We'd love to hear about your favorite waterfall hikes and the memories you make along the way.
Until next time, happy hiking and keep exploring.